area. A G-string is a no-no, completely no-no for me. It's your chin too. Like that thing, I can relate. Basically, that is what this person is telling me. Let me tell you this. Had it not been for my husband, I would have a bald head today. I have been hinting on how I just want to cut my hair. I never thought I would actually sit and talk about what I'm experiencing during perimenopause. I never thought I would be here talking about it. 10 years ago, I shared an office with a colleague who was a few years older than me. During winter, she would be hot, okay? And I didn't understand it. I would be cold, so I would have a heater under my desk. She would insist that the aircon stays on. So we would have the aircon on. But what was surprising is that occasionally she would fan herself. Okay? She would sit there and she would be fanning herself. I tried to understand what was happening to her. She explained to me, to be fair. She did try to explain to me what was happening, but in all honesty, she also couldn't just explain how she was feeling. Okay? I didn't understand. I couldn't resonate. Whatever she was saying, I could not relate to it. Okay? So I'm feeling cold and she's feeling hot. That is how we shared that office. Now, there was an occasion when I went for my annual checkup. I went to see my gynecologist. And because I was feeling a little bit funny in the body, I passed this comment casually. I told my doctor, oh, perhaps I'm now menopausal. And the doctor looked at me and says, Francine, when you get to that stage, you are not going to miss it. Now I understand. I understand. You won't miss it. Okay. So what I didn't know back then is that perimenopause and menopause are not the same thing. I knew it was a transition into menopause, but I had no idea that they're different. Did you know that you can be in your perimenopause stage for a very long time? It won't be 1 year, it won't be 2 years, it can be 7 to 10 years. Did you know that most of the people are actually still in their perimenopause stage? They are nowhere close to menopause. So it's actually complicated. Okay. It's actually complicated. But now I know we are here and I'm talking about it. Of course, every woman's body is different. We are going through the stages differently, and I've been noting down one or two things as I go. I have been learning, I've been asking questions, I've just taken an interest. I want to know what is happening. Okay. So after my previous video, the one that I shared a video last week. I received a number of messages, and some of them made me laugh, some of them made me think, some of them made me realize that I'm not going through anything strange. Okay. I actually realized that whatever my body is experiencing is normal. Your body is changing, my body is changing, but we just need to learn to adapt. We need to find a way of adapting to the situation. Like I said, we have different kind of bodies, so we are going to experience the different things. Okay, what I'm experiencing is not necessarily what you are experiencing or what somebody else is experiencing. So it just made me realize just how many women are quietly going through the same things. Okay. I want to share a few of those messages that I received because I was laughing as I was reading. So I'm going to share some of those messages. Somebody says to me, Francine, this is a great topic because many of us feel ambushed and ill prepared for menopause. So for this person, it all started when she stopped taking contraceptives. Okay, so she was taking contraceptives, and as soon as she stopped, she started experiencing the hot flashes. Okay, and then somebody else responded to me and said, "It's your chin too." Like that thing, I can relate. Basically, that is what this person is telling me. I can relate, and she laughed it out. So I've been laughing, and I had to, I'm looking at these messages. They're quite a lot. So I just picked a few. And somebody said, Lord, have mercy on us. Okay. The Holy Spirit never prepared us for some of these things. Okay, so we're just having a light moment as women, talking about the things that we are experiencing. We are not embarrassed. We should not be embarrassed. I strongly feel this is a topic that I can just openly talk about. Okay, you can speak about, and that is why I am here, not embarrassed to talk about what I'm going through. You understand? And then somebody says, very good summary. I'm looking forward to hear more from you. And somebody says, wow, these are great works. Hoping one day I will be equal to the task. And somebody says, well done. Keep growing from strength to strength. And somebody says, this is a very good topic. I've been interested in this of late. Lord have mercy on us. Okay. And somebody actually says, here, the heat is really harassing you. You mentioned it several times, and she laughed. Yes, the heat is harassing me. It has from the first day. I've been talking about this heat. I need to know what to do about this. Trust me, I'm going to find something. I'm going to find a way. But one thing became very clear, even as I was going through these messages. Something is very clear to me. Every woman will eventually reach this stage, okay? For me, there is something comforting about realizing that there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with what I'm going through. Okay. Nothing is wrong with me. My body is just changing. So, like I said earlier, our bodies are just changing. And there are a lot of other people that are going through the same things. I mean, our parents went through those things. We don't even know how they went through them because they didn't talk. Today, you and I can come and talk about it. I don't know. Maybe they spoke to their friends, but you don't get to hear your parents talking about, oh, but we saw them fighting themselves. Didn't you see? Didn't you see people in your home? Anyway, yes, so people would find themselves. And, you know, but here's the thing that nobody prepared me for. Okay, I'm talking about, yes, the hot flashes, they're there, but something that nobody has really spoken about or somebody didn't prepare me for. People talk about hot flashes, people talk about hormones, they talk about hormonal imbalance, but what nobody really talks about is the sudden switch. All of a sudden, it's like somebody, just switched on a certain switch without your permission. You are sleeping and then all of a sudden you wake up and you are a different person. The way certain things that never bothered you before suddenly become a problem. Have you experienced that? I have experienced that. So, like I said, I'm going to tell you everything that I'm experiencing. Okay, we're going to walk this journey together. So, suddenly, that thing that never bothered you, it begins to bother you. So, the way your body develops preferences overnight, you understand? All of a sudden, you look at yourself, or maybe you just wake up and everything is different. I woke up one day and I was a different person. How did you experience that? So things just suddenly change. Now, besides the heat, I want to ask you this. Besides the heat, I know a lot of people have heat, these hot flashes, but I know I met two people that actually told me they haven't experienced the hot flashes. But I'm going to tell you what they told me they experienced, not in this video, in another video. They experienced something else, which I am not experiencing. And I am so grateful. There's something that has skipped me. Okay, but they are not experiencing the hot flashes. So it is normal. That is why I said what you are experiencing is not exactly what the person next to you will be experiencing. But then, besides the heat, what else are you adjusting to? I had a conversation with somebody who told me that they can no longer stand the cut size of their panties. I mean, it is that detailed, it is that personal. This perimenopause, menopause issue can get very private. So she's not able, she's not coping with the size of the underwear. You know, those high cuts, the boy cuts, and the G strings, and oh, no, she can't take those anymore. She says, no, Francine, this is the no go area. A G string is a no, completely no for me. Things that were not a problem are now becoming a problem. Now she prefers to wear this big pant. You know those ones, the ones that are this big, a full brief. You know what it is. That is the most comfortable thing. I call it a parachute. It's a parachute because it is big, but it is very comfortable. And that is what most women are actually feeling comfortable to wear. So as you grow older, certain things are not just what, your body is preferring. It has to do with the changes that are happening in your body, right? So this is what this person shared with me that, Francine, this is not working. It is not working. Can you imagine? Can you believe it? You just wake up and you feel, this is not it for me. So even the body suddenly decides it no longer enjoys certain textures. I know somebody who told me they can't stand silk on the body, satin material. It's irritating the skin all of a sudden, or lace. Okay, so they won't wear anything that has lace, or they won't wear anything. No, I'm going to sweat. If I wear this kind of material, I'm going to sweat. When did that start? When did it happen? I can tell you that I'm not enjoying tight fitting outfits at all. Most of the clothes that I have right now, they are stretchy. That is what my body prefers. That is what a long time ago, I could squeeze myself into jeans. I could squeeze, there were times when we didn't have those stretchy jeans. We could just go to Edgar's, wait and buy that bootleg. And it was cool for me. I enjoyed it. Not today. I want something stretchy. I don't want anything hugging me. How are you experiencing your clothes? How are you feeling about it? And certain shoes are just a no. I would prefer, I just want to walk in my sneakers. I'm feeling comfortable in a certain kind of fit. Those Red Cross shoes, I'll call it. Yeah, those ones. I never thought I would feel comfortable wanting to wear those kind of, like the shoes I used to buy for my kids when they were young. They're very comfortable feet. When you step in, you just feel this comfort. That is why I prefer wearing sneakers. Unfortunately, you can't wear sneakers on every outfit, but I'm forcing it to happen. I'm forcing it to work. So the sneakers must work on every outfit. That's what I'm talking about. So my feet are just not comfortable. Those are the changes that are coming with this stage for me. And guess what? These things just crashed in. Just woke up and I just don't like this. They just crashed in. So one day I was enjoying something, and the next day I woke up and felt completely different. That is what is happening. All right. Even long hair is becoming very unbearable. Let me tell you this. Had it not been for my husband, I would have a bald head today. I have been hinting on how I just want to cut my hair in my hair. Lord, I don't feel like I just don't feel like having long hair. The extension is worse. Okay, thank God it's getting cold now. It's cool and I can stand the extension, but not anymore. If you know me very well, or if you've known me for a while now, you know that I would love the extensions. I would love the weave. The weave is a no right now. The weave, no. I can't because of the heat. I can't, driving me crazy. You see? So I told my husband one day that I want to cut my hair. He said, with Francine. So that's the reason I'm not cutting my hair because he just said, no, Francine, that would be extreme. Okay, so I'm holding on to my hair, but at least that is, one of those things. But who even thought I would get to this stage? Did you know you could get to this stage where you are? When I think back about that colleague of mine 10 years ago, I finally understand. Today, I understand. And I truly sympathize. Those moments when I said, hi, why are you switching on the aircon? I'm very cold. Hey, I would complain. I understand today. She was hot. Okay. Because now I'm experiencing those things that, you know, she was experiencing. But at the time, I thought she was simply, I thought it was just something, small. I thought it was more. Now I realized she was trying to describe something that is actually very difficult to explain until you experience it yourself. Okay. Some things we just can't explain. You can't explain to your spouse how you're feeling. You can't explain to your children, but they certainly know that there's a difference. My wife has changed. That is why I feel even husbands must subscribe to this channel. They must be able to understand you, you know. Maybe you can share with them so that they understand that you are actually normal, that you are not the only person going through the stage that you are going through. So some things simply cannot be fully understood from the outside. Okay. Another woman is going to understand me today. One thing I want to say to every woman watching this is that you are not alone. You are not alone. Many of us are learning our bodies all over. Okay. We are learning our bodies all over again. Many of us are making adjustments as our needs, comfort levels, and preferences change. Okay. As we go on, we are making those small changes. The most important thing is that we keep talking, we keep sharing, we keep learning, and we keep supporting one another through this season of life. All right. So you tell me, let's talk about this. Besides that heat, besides the heat, what is the one thing your body suddenly decided it can no longer tolerate? I would like to know that. Okay. I would love to hear from you. And if you are not comfortable sharing it right here in the comments, feel free to send me a message. I would love to know. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe so that you don't miss the notifications. And feel free to be a part of this journey. Feel free to share this video with anybody that you feel will benefit from this. You have a wonderful day and be blessed abundantly.